Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, well. I'm going to leave it as it is. I didn't plug in the microphone, so if it sounds like crap, I apologize. And with my voice sounding like it does, but oh well. So capitalism and socialism, a story of what the fuck did I call this? Hold on. A story of intersecting economies. I don't know why I put economic. Yeah. Story of intersecting economies. I think that, like I say, I don't see capitalism and socialism. Like I said, well, I'll put it this way: is that nowadays people are trying to change the definition of socialism to something to fit the modern day. Is that people like Vosh want market socialism, much the same way as people saw in Yugoslavia, right? And of course, people will say, well, Yugoslavia's economy was pretty bad. And like I say, regardless of and no defense of the Yugoslav wars throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, no. But there was an intersecting belief. Many film companies, many film production companies throughout the 1970s, 1980s made movies in Yugoslavia because it was cheaper. So Kelly's Heroes, for example, the famous Clint Eastwood movie, do 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 do. Y'all know the movie. Was filmed mostly in Croatia. It was mostly filmed in Croatia, to be more specific, within Yugoslavia. And like I say, they got a lot of assistance. Cross of Iron as well was another movie that was made in Yugoslavia, and you had genuine T-34-85s there, right? Like I said, there was some problems I think with getting money as well, but this kind of shows where they were, is that they tried to have market socialism because they didn't want to align with the Soviet Union, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of in between. I don't see capitalism and socialism as being polar opposites in many ways. I see them as intersecting Venn diagrams. Like I say, maybe that's a retarded statement, and please call me out and say, no, that's a retarded statement. Please tell me, no, bruh, that's stupid. That's fair. But I don't see, like I say, the more that I've heard and kind of read about is I don't think that socialism and capitalism are radically different from each other. It's like you're not going to get rid of, for example, if we want to talk about something simple, but taxes. You're not going to get rid of taxes under socialism. No. Like I say, there is going to be a progressive tax. If you read, as I just finished reading, the planks of communism, right? So taxes weren't going to go away. Accounting was not going to go away. More specifically, which is under the bracket of accounting, which is under the label accounting, I believe. You're still going to have, like I say, I imagine that my going to school and what little I did learn. There's probably a lot up there that's banging around, but anyway. Generally accepted accounting principles, as we see them in the United States, they change each year, little differences here and there, but versus IFRS, which is the international version of GAAP. I can't really, well, let me back up on that. IFRS is different, but I think that there are some interlocking things where it's like there's generally accepted ways of doing accounting, right? Like I say, you're not going to get rid of that. It's the same thing, with, to me, economics is what it is, right? As spurgy as it is, and the study of it, and the people who talk about it, being an economist, like I say, it's a very complicated thing, and a lot of the time they just read reports. It's a whole different thing on the ground, right? There's the old idea of guns versus butter, right? That the Soviet Union spent so much on military technology and whatnot, and of course, a lot of that was misplaced. A lot of it was, there were whole towns created in terms of using this for the military, like a physics, a town just for the physics folks, or folks just for this mathematics, or whichever, right? But this was in pursuance of the state. Now, I mean, this is, like I say, so there's a lot of overlap here. And I feel like, once again, I'm kind of getting in the weeds here, but I don't see capitalism and socialism as some competing evils or whatever. I mean, people want to do that because they talk about the social in socialism. That's really what they're upset about, is the social in socialism. Like, oh, you're gonna destroy our churches. You're gonna do all this. Well, in some cases, yes. In other cases, no. There's something called Christian socialism, much as what has been done, like the Sandinistas, right? They were folks who came from Catholicism in many ways. But that's like I say, who knows what, that's kind of like the whole left Catholic versus trad cap stuff that went on Twitter, for years. But anywho, it's still going on to this day to a point. But anywho, I think that overall, these are systems that are compatible with one another. The Soviet Union traded with Finland. The Soviet Union traded with the U.S. and they sold oil to the U.S. Like I say, this is not a complicated thing. Like, people think of it, oh, well, maybe this is where the complication goes. This is where people think that, oh, well, like I say, in general, it's more of a let's keep up the hatred sort of thing. There's war, and then there's like an economic war. And I think what the U.S. is trying to pursue is like, we just want to calm things down in China, but we don't want to overthrow. Well, in some cases they do want to overthrow, but we know that we need a lot of stuff from China, and they have stuff in ours. It's like, you've got peanut butter in my chocolate. We've got chocolate in my peanut butter. That's sort of what it is with the U.S. and China. It's like Siamese twins. We can't really get rid of one another. Unless you're some LARPer who's like, yeah, we need to destabilize China, this and that. This is not the 1970s. It's not the 1980s. And this isn't even Libya. You're talking about a country with a huge military. You're talking about the PLA, the Navy, Marines. You're talking about the reserves as well. Like I say, I really don't think that you can just, have some complete overthrow. I think China is much more robust, and I hate to use that word because it's so overused, but it's more robust than that. But anywho, I think that it's very complicated, to say the least, to be like, oh, well, this is what it actually means. It's like, let's not go there. Anywho, please go ahead and tell me if I'm retarded for what I said, or if this and that. I think that the similarities are much more than the differences between capitalism versus socialism. Socialism is supposed to it's supposed to rise up like a phoenix. I'm gonna use I'm gonna get very poetic, but I'm gonna do it. But socialism is meant to rise up from the ashes like a phoenix, out of the ashes of capitalism, to create something better. To create something better than capitalism. Than to create a system where you go from job to job, and that your skills don't mean anything, that you are simply a number. All these sorts of things that politicians use, but they never change. Where there's so many scam places out there that will say, yeah, come work for us and you can sell electronics, for 3 or 4 hours. And, it's all based on commission and money, and that money doesn't go to you, wage theft, right? Maybe I'm just showing how retarded I am. Anywho, But that's how I see it. I hope y'all enjoyed that. So see you later and a good abaya.